and welcome to ETTO's Catch Up, the only show break for gags. My gag is that Overwatch has lost its charm.
And my gag is, where's the camera, boy?
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That could mean so many things.
We'll get to it.
And we answer some cues from you. I'm Will.
I'm Josh.
Please ensure your arms and legs are indoors at all times. There you go. I've read the script for once. That was the whole.
Right.
The whole intro
we
script.
wrote that like years ago. A year ago.
A year ago.
When, yeah.
Definitely when this was beginning.
Yes.
And that was the ongoing gag. And
Speaking
the gag
of,
has never been ongoing. Yes.
Just super quick. The 1 year anniversary of us moving together was last Tuesday. The day that this podcast comes out.
That's
last
true.
Tuesday?
A week ago.
A year ago last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not last Tuesday.
The anniversary. We haven't moved in again.
No. Yeah, so the day we did our Gotham Night stream was our 1 year moving in together in Melbourne.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, we both missed. We're both aware of it, but we both missed talking about it. But yeah, oops. There you go. Yeah. I got something to show.
Awesome. So do I.
Sick. Oh yeah, you do.
And I have a story.
There he is.
You got the fridge?
I got the Xbox fridge, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
Audio listeners. And it actually does, I mean, there's no light inside, which is so stupid.
That is
It's so stupid.
That's annoying.
You can do this, but then I'm sure it will fry the electronics of a fucking light.
Yeah.
But it's like, imagine if it looked like that.
That would be
Imagine if
very
it looked
cool.
like that.
Yeah.
But the one thing it does that the actual Xbox doesn't do that everyone wanted was that it actually lights up on the top, but only in 6.
9.
Oh, in 9,
That's
sorry.
amazing. And there's the
very
light.
funny.
Just let that light shine through the bottom as well.
Yeah, but they've just put it in the top. And it is cool because the buttons do the light, so that turned that off. And then
Nice.
the disc eject one is
It is
that
is
one.
it as loud and average as all the reviews have been saying?
It's silent. I don't
Really?
know. Well, because what I realized was that's the Xbox fridge, everybody.
There you go. Nice.
What I realized is they go, it's really loud, and then they stick a microphone inside a fan, and it's like, well, of course that's fucking loud. But in real life, a fan just sounds like a fan.
Yeah, totally.
So, like, I turned it on, and I'm like, oh, it's silent. It's totally fine. And, like, it was running the whole Pocket episode that on Thursday night, and it didn't interfere with anything.
Nice.
So
did you just acquire it from work?
No, this is my one. Pete
cool.
bought an Office one as well.
Yeah, nice.
But, because they were cheap. They were so surprisingly cheap for what they were. Like, they were $200 for what is just a cooler.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
sick.
cool. Nice.
You'd hope so.
Yes. So I have two things. I have something just as large as an Xbox fridge.
Hey.
I finally have my freaking Playdate. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Josh is a happy boy.
It finally made it. I put it on. So there's like 3 versions of the clock, which is like the standby.
Yep.
Like you
always
can't
on
turn
display.
it off. And I put it on words for some reason.
Fuck.
It actually
Amazing.
says everything, which is great.
That's cool.
It says it's 25 minutes past 11 on Saturday, October 29th, which is very cute. Turning it on, when you press the lock button,
Yep.
there's like a little guy and his eyes
winky.
open, so you have to press it twice so that both his eyes open.
Good.
Very cute. You have the crank for people who don't know. This is a console with a crank.
It's crank.
So when you crank it, maybe other way, scrolls through a bunch of games.
Good.
Which freaking
games.
awesome. It's so good. Yeah. So I went on a bit of a spree last night.
The last
On Itch. I basically just looked up like best Playdate games.
Yeah, good.
Jumped onto Itch and downloaded a bunch of free ones. Bought 2. So there were 2 that were like highly rated and appeared across multiple websites of recommendations and stuff. And I think when you look up like Playdate on Itch, it's like the top rated one. So I'm like, well, I have to buy that. And it looks incredible. It looks like an interactive story kind of thing, but mixed with, it's like a girl who lives in an apartment above her shop, but the top of her shop, which is where I think most of the game takes place, is her flower garden, and her shop is like a flower store. So you sort of it's like a slightly farm simmy sort of game, and you make money off those by selling them in your shop. I don't know if you ever get down into the shop, but one of the cool things is that somebody has already developed a Game Boy emulator for it without any hacking. Because the people that made this thing are just like, anyone can just make a game, share it. Like, we'll make it super easy for you to put it on. And someone just made a Game Boy emulator. It's pretty good. I think it's definitely in like alpha, basically. There are some, I think the like refresh rate of the screen of this isn't as fast as it needs to be. And so there's a little bit of lag as you like move in certain directions as sprites need to refresh. So there's a little bit of tearing and stuff, and a bit of frame rate slowdown. But they seem to be adding like different settings for frame rate stuff, and trying to, so that you can customize the back end of it to get the best experience for certain games.
Sick.
Which is very cool. I have one story though. I'm pretty sure I'm going to die in my car soon. I think this is a Final Destination situation where I keep skipping death, but it's coming for me.
Yeah, for the past like 10 years in that car.
That's true. That's true. But yes, that's right, because you were in the car when someone ran up the back of me one time, and I just got out, looked at my car, and went, "I'm fine, don't worry about it," and drove off. But yeah, this time, so I was at a petrol station pretty late at night. So it was, it was dark, but petrol stations, especially on like a freeway, are lit up like a mother effer. They're so bright. It's like daytime at a petrol station underneath where the petrol tanks are and all around it. They are glowing. So I filled up with petrol, started driving out. It was so bright, I didn't think to put my lights on yet. So I didn't.
that is the messed up thing of petrol. I feel like I've done that at least once as well.
Yeah,
because you are just so everything's lit up.
Yeah,
so why would you?
Yeah, so you don't need it yet.
Yeah,
but I didn't pull onto a freeway with my lights off. It wasn't anything like that. Literally, I'd just driven out from the pump and turned the corner, and as I was going, which I basically would have had right of way because another person coming out of the pumps was merging into traffic. A guy nearly hit me. Okay. You would think that's where that ends. The dude is flashing his lights. He's yelling at me. I'm like, all right, like, we almost hit each other. Whoops.
Move on.
I keep driving. It's a big one, so we have to like drive past a little McDonald's in the petrol station complex as well. He's like flashing his lights behind me and stuff. I'm just driving. He pulls around me, cuts me off like diagonally so that I literally have nowhere to go. I can't drive past this guy. He's like checking for my headlights, which at that stage I realized my headlights weren't on because I wasn't at the petrol station anymore, so I turned them on. And then he's screaming at me, absolutely screaming, just like, "You're an effing idiot! What the F, man? I nearly hit you!" To which point he gets out of his car. Yeah. At which point I lock my car.
Yeah.
He comes over, starts banging at my window on my driver's side and is like, "Wind your window down." My window's been broken for like 5 years. I can't. So I'm like, I can't. I'm pressing the button. I'm like, I literally can't. And thinking to myself, please don't start working now. It's been 5 years. Don't wind down now.
Yeah.
And he's just like screaming at me just nonstop. Just like, "You're an effing idiot. What the hell?" And I'm like, all right, sorry. Gave him a thumbs up and then reversed out of there. Like,
what more do you want?
I'm like, what am I meant to do here? I literally, nothing happened.
Yeah.
We were still like, we were still a meter away from each other. It was just a little bit of like a whoop and like a bit of a stop, and we were like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, dude needs to chill, man. So if torrential rain doesn't get me, I'm sure an angry man will. He's going to just track me down. He's going to run me off the road and I'm going to die.
He'll find you.
Fate will get me. Final Destination. Bring it on.
Maybe someone will steal your number plate so he won't remember. He won't be able to find
Could be that. Yeah.
That Melbourne number plate thief.
Yeah, one can only hope.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like late night things, on the way back from Pocket, my one story, I didn't get attacked, was I went to McDonald's on the way home. Always get myself a little McFlurry. And as I walked in, Well, before I'd even walked in, I was kind of hearing noises that I was like, those are weird noises. It wasn't whoop, 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 whatever that fucking weird noise that happens at McDonald's.
Yeah.
It was like noises I've never heard in that situation. And then as the doors opened, it was like, bwam, 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 and like, you don't know what that's on. It's the
Cairns
Overwatch
Film
2.
Festival? Oh, okay.
Yeah, correct. I was in Cairns. It's the Overwatch theme. And so the noises I was hearing outside were like the kill sound effect when you kill someone in Overwatch, and then like Trace's Rush theme, because McDonald's currently have like an Overwatch, buy a Big Mac, you'll get a Tracer skin. So they were just playing game sounds and music, and it was the weirdest thing.
That's
it was
so weird.
And because I'm not entirely attached to Overwatch, it was one of those like back memory things of
from Overwatch 1.
This is something.
When it first came out.
Yeah. So I'm like, it was bizarre. It was an out of body experience of like, am I Evan? What's the guy? Truman.
Yeah, okay.
Am I Truman? Like, is this is this my show?
That's so odd, because that's like, what am I saying? McDonald's don't theme their store for anything other than McDonald Day or whatever, the Happy Hands Day.
Their internal shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's only for their event. Nothing else ever.
Yeah.
Why Overwatch 2?
Yeah. Insane.
That's so weird.
It was bizarre. It was an odd experience.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, but that's my story. Very safe. Eating McFlurry outside of McDonald's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't piss off people, everyone. Just go to Macca's
don't piss them off.
Get a Big Mac.
Just put your lights on all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what. Car battery dies, just deal with it.
Get a Tracer skin. Don't allow someone else to take your skin.
Do you want to kick us off with news?
I'll kick us off with some news. This one is both sad for Will, but also possibly he doesn't care that much, because I'm not sure if you're going to play God of War Ragnarok on release. Because you're kind of like,
I'll play it.
The game's fine, but God of War will sadly, William, not be launching with a photo mode.
Why?
Yeah, I know, right? But it is coming later, and it doesn't seem like it's too much later. It sounds like it's like, a week or two, like pretty soon after release. So from Santa Monica Studios Twitter, photo mode will be coming to God of War Ragnarok after launch. We'll share more details closer when we plan to release it. We can't wait to see all of your captures when it's live.
Okay, so I definitely won't play it at launch.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. So this is probably gives you an additional reason to not bother yet.
I like it.
There you go. You're welcome. This also marks a pretty weird departure, as you have basically already alluded to the now standard SIE or Sony Interactive Entertainment template of having this ready at launch for all of their first-party games.
Yeah, totally.
It's really weird for them to not have it.
And it's the same game.
Yeah. They've got a photo mode.
It already existed and didn't like the game itself looks it looks the same engine. Nothing. It's on PlayStation 4. It's not like anything's really changed. How weird.
But you can still, position the in-game camera at a nice angle and press the share button if you.
That's a good point.
If you really want, you can still technically take photos in there.
Yeah. You can hit the share button. But because you said camera in your fun gag line. That's the gag line.
Yeah. Nice.
I was like, oh god, are they changing their thing and it's not a consistent camera thing? Like in the first game,
that
was cinematic the whole time.
That's right. I hope they continued that. They have to, right? That was such a cool thing of the original game, is that it was one camera.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do. I guess it's one of those things where I guess it's so expected they haven't really addressed it, but I guess we'll see. They haven't they really haven't also put out a 15-minute unbroken gameplay. It's a really weird launch because it's out next week.
They did a gameplay trailer. I didn't watch it, but
but it was all broken up. How Uncharted comes out, they release the entire car chase bit, or there's not an unbroken gameplay file on the internet.
Yes.
It's it just feels like the game isn't being hyped, but it's out next week. It's just
is it next week?
Just the 7th of November, I think, is the release date for God of War.
I don't have time for this.
You don't.
I've barely played Gotham Knights and I want to finish that. I don't care for it that much.
And now a good game is coming out.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming thick and fast.
I don't have time for this.
I've got a week at least. Yeah. But speaking of things coming thick and fast, Doctor Who. I feel like I had to address it in this podcast. Thick and fast. Obviously, the Regen episode happened a week at the time of this coming out, but a week ago. But they wasted no time. Jodie left the next day. New logo. Shooty Gutwell was on like 3 different American shows talking about Doctor Who. And then, of course, the biggest thing was that Doctor Who was coming to Disney Plus across the world, except for the UK and Ireland, where BBC will keep the show, which makes sense. First on the logo, though, they released a cool little teaser thing of the logo coming into frame. And the thing that I find so funny about this, it is the classic logo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
You were correct. It is just a renovated version of Tom Baker's logo.
It's cool. I like it. It's
nice.
It's that with some depth.
Totally. It's just a modernized go. But the thing that I found funny about it, and you can see it in the logo itself, the Who is the kind of emboldened thing. But in the reveal, it doesn't say Doctor for a long time. It just says Who. It's like the Doctor is barely shown.
Yeah, it's kind of in a shadow.
Yeah.
Who?
Which is exciting for, like, there's a few different things that they might be doing. Like the Sylvester McCoy era, the idea was putting the Who back into it of like, who is this character and a bit more of the mystery.
Yeah, cool.
Which would be nice. But the thing I think, and given it's coming to Disney Plus, which I'll talk about in a sec, I think they're trying to rebrand the show once again as Who. Like they just want people to call it Who. And if this show is going to be on a streaming service where there's something called Mando or Loki, like everything's a single worded show, I think that they're trying to push towards that. And I mean, most fans call it Who. Like as a shortened thing, so I think they're kind of pushing towards that. But yes, the Disney Plus thing, under a shared creative vision, they will be delivering the quintessential British show to future generations on an unprecedented scale. These are all from the press release. With Disney Plus as the exclusive home for new seasons of Doctor Who outside the UK and Ireland. So at launch, it will just be anything new. It probably won't be bringing in classic and previous series. A similar thing to like...
Right, so Disney Plus isn't having old stuff?
Not at launch. I think it's a similar thing with like Spidey and stuff where there is already places it is. And we're slowly getting Homecoming and Far From Home and stuff like that. But there's BritBox, which is the big app in Australia at least, which has all Classic Who and Top Gear and stuff like that. Sure. So I think when those deals end, stuff will slowly come across. But at launch, it's just the 60th anniversary specials and Shooty's series and onwards. But by the time that launches, maybe those deals are up and everything will be there.
Cool.
Because it's quite interesting. As Doctor Who is so huge, it probably will have a tab. Like it'll have with the Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah. Just because once there's enough stuff there, there's 600, 700 episodes of a show. Yeah. You kind of need a homepage for that. So...
And they just have different doctors in different tabs.
The different lines, yeah. And different series and stuff like that, which will be sick. The other thing that kind of came along a little bit later last week was that there is an unconfirmed report, but kind of something that was sort of expected, unconfirmed from the Daily Telegraph in the UK, that the Doctor Who deal with Disney Plus is a little bit bigger because it's a co-production deal with Disney Plus, which would mean Disney Plus will be co-financing in return for the distribution rights, which means Doctor Who's budget will be Disneyified.
Oh, crap.
Which would be very exciting.
Yeah. And probably like Disney resources, like other than just money, but...
Yeah.
Special effects studios.
Just tech and not text. Yeah. Tech and actors probably.
Get that Who in a volume.
It'd be pretty exciting. There's like a 15-second trailer for the 60th and it looks better. So
sure.
If this dealing had already happened, it may already be taking... Yeah.
Cool.
And there was a thing that's basically that money dealings aren't generally talked about until they put into effect. And so we might not know about this for a while, but yeah, we'll know when we look at it, I think, which will be very exciting. But yeah, probably nothing Jodie back on Disney Plus. And then the new episodes, which we actually got a date through all this press release. Mm-hmm. The new episodes, which had kind of been expected, but a lot of people were hoping we might get one special for Christmas or something. But November 2023 is when the new episodes will be coming out.
It's every year.
An entire year, yeah.
Yep.
Because, of course, it's the 60th anniversary in November next year, so that's when they were always going to kind of come out, but we know there's kind of 3 episodes, so we were hoping one of those specials would drop earlier, but...
Yeah.
Looking like November for all 3.
Oh, that's so long, sad. Especially after what happened.
It was such a big end.
That's crazy, and you got a year to wait.
Yeah, which makes sense why the trailer is 15 seconds. They're like, we're not going to give you stuff now.
Yeah, that's fair. They're probably not done.
No.
To get that volume together in Britain.
To get the volume. Put some LEDs up, man.
Very good.
But that's Doctor Who.
That's cool. Well, from one acquisition to another... the X Games, the extreme sports big event, has been acquired in a press release from MSP Sport Capital. Mm-hmm. I didn't say that right. MSP Sports Capital, that's the one. I stopped short by accident. They own McLaren Racing and I think some like Spanish or South American at least soccer competitions or something. I couldn't really tell. I was clicking on logos and everything was in Spanish. I had no idea what was going on. They announced that it acquired a majority ownership of the X Games from ESPN and is bringing aboard that there's a reason why this is in a video game.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Bringing aboard CEO Stephen Flisler? 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 Flisler. Let's go for that. Stephen Flisler. I'm going to call him Steve. Who once served as Twitch's... who once served... That's right. Who once served as Twitch's vice president of original content and the executive producer of Twitch Rivals, which was an esports tournament.
Yeah, cool.
So bringing him into it. Basically, X Games is going to be integrated into like Twitch and probably like YouTube stuff. There's going to be like live chat and all of that sort of thing, which is very cool. So... Someone said, it's probably Dad, we can't wait to interact with chat on Twitch and YouTube. That was such a crap quote.
That was it. I was looking for more words. I saw your eyes. That was amazing.
There's more to it. There's more to say. Because I've written, which would be an interesting thing to experience for me anyway, like to watch it and see this live chat happening and stuff. That'd be very cool. Totally, I thought there was more, much more to that. There is more quotes a little bit later. The company is also hinting at a new way to watch live events. I don't know whether it's just Twitch. Yeah, but they're hinting that there's going to be like more to it for some reason.
Okay. They send out like vibrations and you can feel like you're on the bike.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just sending out vibrations to fans.
A good vibration. They're going to get the Beach Boys to just send them out. They know how to do it.
They can call them the X Vibrator.
There you go.
That's it.
Everyone has one.
So they note in that sort of like hint that they're wanting to increase appeal. This is the quote. This is a better quote than the other one. Increase appeal to a digitally native audience seeking expanded access to athletes and community-driven content. Who knows what the hell that means?
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. So are the athletes going to be like Twitch streaming at the same time?
Yeah, they get off their bike and they go just stream Fortnite.
Yeah. Are they going to have like a GoPro on their helmet? So like as they're doing their run, they're going to be like talking and be like,
yeah.
Thanks for the bits.
Thanks for
while
the
they're doing
dudes.
like a 900. Like wild.
It's weird.
It's super weird.
All right. I wonder if they'll do the thing, because there's lots of Twitch integration where you can have lots of cameras set up and then chat are like pushing it to the different cameras. So I wonder if they'll just have that. But then chat will just be bouncing between all the face cams. It's just the stream is just a horrible videos of people's faces.
Totally. I have a little bit more. The freaking man himself, because of course, how could you leave him out? Tony Hawk is also joining the X Games as a brand steward. He has won 16 medals at the X Games himself, so it makes sense. He's sort of already the like unofficial like face of the X Games. He's the face of just extreme sports in general. Like you think extreme sports, it's Tony Hawk and then the rest of them. But it's Tony Hawk. Like he's got to be.
It's just Tony Hawk firstly.
But ESPN, even though MSP Sports Capital has the majority, ESPN, which founded the X Games in 1995, holds a minority, non-controlling stake, but still has a multi-year agreement as its linear broadcaster live. So it's still on ESPN, I guess, on television through like Foxtel and paid services and stuff like that. So they've still got that. And an extra little addition into all of this, since it's now, you know, they're bringing in like Twitch integration and stuff like that too. While the event typically has athletes facing off in skiing, snowboarding, motocross, BMX, freestyle, skateboarding, all that sort of stuff, the new owner may also now be throwing in some gaming.
Of course.
Into the X Games. So we'll see what happens. That makes more sense to have the integration into Twitch and stuff like that. But
there's also a better home than the Olympics.
The Olympics.
I always found that dumb.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very silly.
Yeah. Like it's got more... Gaming has more of like an extreme audience already. Like, sure, they're all nerds, but it's like... The events are huge. There's fireworks and stuff in the stadiums where you go watch it. Like it seems way more integrated into extreme sports rather than
the Olympics.
The Olympics. Like
it's too calm. It's too calm.
Absolutely. So it's pretty sick. I'm keen to see where this goes.
That's very good. This is going to my second story, which is Overwatch loses its charm. This is one of those ones where it's a very small story, but it's the icing on the cake of what has been Overwatch's wild monetary related issues.
Sure.
Obviously, one of the big things is like loot boxes are gone. So if you want things, it's Battle Pass or buy it. And this is one of the things that you can buy from Reddit user Hi, I'm Redbeard. They posted that in-game. They'll respond one day. There's a purchasable Pachymari charm, which costs 700 Overwatch coins, and it's roughly $1 per 100 coins. So it's about a $7 charm, which is going to go on your gun, which will flop about. How exciting.
Yeah. But you'll barely see it because you're not looking at your gun.
No.
Looking at everything else.
It'll look good in your play of the day or whatever.
Yes.
But then over on the Blizzard store, the exact same charm is available to buy for $5 for $2 cheaper. But it's a like physical thing.
Physical thing.
Yeah. So you can buy it in real life for less money than in game. Obviously, there's taxes and shipping and stuff, but the principle still stands that the item that you'll never hold is $2 more than the physical thing.
That's so funny.
Which is wild.
And it's probably also a situation where you can't just buy 700 coins, you have to buy more than that anyway.
It's like 500 and then 500. And so, you'll end up spending
like $10 probably.
Yeah. So it's double the amount
so
in the end, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's not much more to say about how ridiculous that is. But the other thing, which kind of is something that we've always, I think, maybe not out loud said, but have always found very weird, which is in Overwatch 2, currently there's a sale for a Halloween skin for Kiriko, which is the new assist hero. That's priced at $26 for a skin. Like that,
$26.
Yeah. So, bit gross. But on top of that, it's already 29% off. Now, that's always weird. I think we've talked about it with Fortnite, that it's odd that things come into the store and they're never that price. Like, they're never not the sale price, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's always like down 20%, but it's like when you just got here and then you're going. So you're never not going to be that price.
Yeah.
Turns out that is actually illegal in most countries.
Okay.
According to the Australian Competitive and Consumer Commission, this automatic sale of a skin can be misleading or deceptive since the skin has never been sold at a higher non-discounted price. In addition, the Kiriko Halloween skin is only sold in a bundle and cannot be purchased separately, and this is considered anti-consumer in many countries.
Wow.
Which is an addition thing to Fortnite, because generally you can buy the skin separately.
Yes,
but in this case, it's like, if you want the skin, you have to bundle it with the things, plus it's already on sale, and that's not very bad. That's not good.
Gross. Yeah, that's not great.
Not good. On top of the fact that, people have just been hating the fact that you can't just get loot boxes, which is ironic. I understand.
Yeah.
We wanted them gone. But this is not the alternative.
No.
That the only way to get anything is to buy the battle pass, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original game, you could get loot boxes just by playing.
People really should just be following Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like, really,
get away.
Like, it's just, that's the nicest way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone
it's
can
the perfect
play it.
Model.
You don't have to buy the battle pass.
No.
And, I can just buy individual skins without having to buy the battle pass most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the battle pass system is great because there's all the optional objectives. I don't know if Overwatch has that, but I can't imagine it having anything but kill people.
Yeah.
So it'd be a hard battle pass to get through. But yeah. So overall, Overwatch is listen to its charm.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Very nice. Very nice. Just on that as well, the battle pass stuff. Like, there could be, Marvel Snap has a battle pass and it's got challenges, but they're not too huge. But I guess it's like, kill this many people with this level of card and stuff like that. So they could have those sorts of challenges. But
Overwatch is so skill based. It's like anything you want me to do, I can't imagine I'm going to be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's not much to it.
But if you want to play Overwatch 2, the community night has already happened, so you can't play it. Anyway, let's move on and out of the news. Waka waka, Josh.
Waka 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 waka.
It's the ad read.
Waka waka.
Waka waka. The community night has already happened. I'm sure it was really fun. If you want to join into community nights, head to patreon.com/each to their own. $3, get into a Discord, and then you can hang out with cool people. Have you got any cool people you want to talk about, Josh? Go on.
I have an apology to Lawcat. I will get your name correct in the next segment. Thank you for listening. Next segment!
This is cues from you, everybody. Or as I've written, because I did copy and paste the copy of the backup rundown and then modified it into mine. So what I will say is, it says cues from you, and then it says, welcome to the talkback where we take your questions from the Discord, which is not my line. That's Nicholas Richardson's line. If you want to give us cues from you, you can head into, as I said, that Patreon, into that Discord, into the hashtag AskETTO channel, and then head to the sheet. Josh, you started news. I'll take this one. Yeah. Dolphin Pants. Dolphin Pants says, and we didn't mention this, but yes, James Gunn and another guy are now heads of DC. They're going to be managing a lot of the films going forward. Matt Reeves still has full control over his universe. They're not touching that. They've also confirmed. James Gunn is making he isn't. This is a hypothetical, I assume. Yeah. A Scooby-Doo Batman crossover film. What cinematic Batman does he bring back to join the live-action Scooby-Doo crew?
That's such a
Which is very fun.
That's so good.
It's a very good one.
Because
and
they have comics for that, right?
Yeah.
Like
and animated
Warner
films.
Brothers and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, what Batman, I like, for excitement and nostalgia, Michael Keaton would be fun, but the actual correct choice, because I think it's the only way you'll ever get him back, unless for some reason he's in the Flashpoint film, which would be cool, but I doubt it. I think this is the one time that you can get George Clooney back in the Batsuit.
Oh, yes.
George Clooney and the Scooby-Doo crew would be amazing.
That would be... That's so good. That is brilliant. I love that.
I mean, Michael Keaton obviously is a comedy actor first and foremost and has become what he is now. But I just feel like there's and he I think being the one that doesn't like that he did Batman is the right actor to be put into a comedy setting. because he can just play all the way into everything.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Adam West is still alive, right?
No.
No?
No. He died a while ago.
Yeah.
They can bring him back. I mean, yeah, Adam West
more way than one.
Yeah, he is definitely the one that would be awesome. I don't think he voiced it, but it would have been awesome if he voiced the movies, the animated Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
I think it was probably Kevin Conroy.
Okay. Imagine Kevin Conroy.
Not that skeleton.
Most ridiculous man. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. George Clooney, for sure. I want more George Clooney.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that movie he's in now. Whatever it's called.
A Trip to Paradise.
Trip to Paradise.
Yeah.
It seems sweet.
Ticket to Paradise.
Ticket to Paradise. He's sweet. He's just great. He's just such a he seems like a very nice man.
Did I mention it in the podcast? I don't remember if I did, but because it was filming in Brisbane, that whole movie, he and him and the other actress who I keep forgetting, both had facing houses in Brisbane.
Bullock? Sandra Bullock?
Yeah. No, Bullock's. I think Bullock's the island and she's the other one.
Love Island, yeah.
I think she's, Love Island.
Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts. That's
okay, cool. Yeah.
They both bought houses, rented houses in Brisbane. Yep. And every day, the people working in the local IGA would see this little golf cart rock up. He'd get out, get his bread and milk and stuff, and then shoot back off again.
That's so cool.
He was just driving around having a good time. He didn't get his intern to get it. It was like, I'm going to go get milk and bread and just live, which is very cute.
Awesome. What a cool thing.
Yeah.
What an awesome thing.
The other addendum is that you would need to get back Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar or whatever. No, I don't know if that's the right person. The person from Buffy and all that. They'd all need to come back.
Yeah.
That would be very important.
Yeah, awesome. For sure. Yeah. Sick.
Good question, Dolphin Pets.
Very good. Lawcat. I got it.
Nice.
I did it. I freaking did it.
Nice.
Lawcat asks, and I wanted to answer this one last week, but I already had one from Lawcat last week, so
no, you had one from Lowcat.
Lowcat, yeah, that's right. I should have known.
Different person.
There you go. Do you have any tattoos? What are they? What would you consider getting? We have mentioned this a few times on here, but just for Lawcat, we have to.
Yeah.
I got to take my jacket off. Update. I have no new updates, but got to update the new people. I have some tattoos. I have a couple.
The one that you showed was the bear arm.
Yeah,
like
I was trying to get it. The camera's the wrong way. So my first tattoo. I'm a Christian, so my first tattoo is a cross. It says John 10:10. Which is, I've come to that, you may have life and have it to the full. So it's just like have a great, cool, fun life. I like that one.
That's a nice one.
The next one.
Here it is.
The Zelda Hyrule crest. It's very cool.
Yep. It's so clean, that one.
I do like that one. And then I designed my own stand up. You better watch the video version of this. The audio listeners are going to be very annoyed at my description. I also have a pixel art heart, which I designed with a quarter missing because I got it when I was 25. The last one is MK01.
There it is.
Stands for Mark 1. Will designed that one for me.
I did.
It was very hard. Font. He founded a font. That is from Iron Man 3, the point where Pepper walks in and there is an Iron Man suit talking to her on the couch. She thinks that Tony's in it, but he's not. She's like, what is that, Mark 12? And he says, yeah, something like that. And he looks down and it says Mark 42. And it's like etched into his arm. So I got my Mark 1 because this is my Mark 1 suit.
That's
my
good.
First suit. So
very good.
That's my tattoos.
There's the tats.
Will, show off. What you got?
A blue mole that I've got to check out.
Nice.
I check it out every now and then. Every now and then I forget it's there. And then I'm like, yeah. I see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what the fuck is blue mole still sticking? So if you see that emoji in the chat, in the Discord, that's what that is.
Is it
For a long time, there's a blue mole emoji.
Right.
And I think at some point someone was like, what's that? And I just was like, what is that? And then one day I looked at my arm, I'm like, oh yeah.
I had no idea I did not know that was that. Was there an in-joke? Did you make
I guess it came up at some point.
Is it actually
other than
Discord?
right now?
Like a custom one in our Discord?
Yeah.
Really?
Check out the
It is too.
Blue Mole
I had no idea. We have a TikTok?
We have a TikTok. Good cues from yous. If you want to submit more, please do.
Please do.
You know how to do it.
You know what to do.
Welcome to the rec seg. We didn't get a new rec card, so we don't really need to play anything. But this is the rec seg where we wrec things. There'll be a video game that will wreck, but it won't be that kind of wreck. It'll be the other wreck.
Yeah.
Before we get in that, TV and film, my ones. I've got 2 new shows that I watched.
Yeah.
One unsurprising, but the other, I mean, it's not a surprise. I'm not going to surprise anyone. So I'm going to be like, whoa, we'll watch that. It's just going to be like, oh, I didn't think about that. The Patient, which is Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah, cool.
It's an FX series, but is on Disney Plus in Australia. It's only 10 eps, but it is very good. The premise, which is set up in the first episode and is very much the point of the show. So if you don't want to know the point of the show, don't listen for the next, I don't know, 40 seconds.
Yep.
But the premise is that Steve Carell is a psychiatrist. Domhnall Gleeson comes to him for help. Yes. And then it clearly doesn't work out. And Domhnall Gleeson kidnaps him and keeps him in his basement to have sessions. And it kind of goes from there. There's lots of twists. There's lots of turns.
That's cool.
And it's super easy to watch. Like, as much as it's a heavy kind of subject matter, and there is a lot of heavy subject matter in there, not really any trigger warnings, which is surprising considering how intense it is. Like, there's obviously a lot of stuff in there, but it's not really the usual trigger warnings that you would imagine from what this could be, which is maybe where it kind of falls short. And I know that sounds odd, but it feels like it is a little light fingered in terms of like getting a bit more nitty and gritty, especially being 10 episodes. I was waiting for it to get a little bit more intense.
Yeah. Okay.
But it does deal with other stuff, which is nice. Like it's filled out in terms of content. But it's mainly the performances. I love Steve Carell in not comedy roles. He's such a good actor. Yeah. It is like, I've never enjoyed him in the comedy space, so it's like I love getting him in these things. Domhnall Gleeson is great. For anyone that doesn't know who he is, Hux from the Star Wars sequels is kind of probably the easiest point of reference.
Yeah, cool.
He's good, but they put like an insane amount of makeup on him, and they've dyed his eyebrows, and it's like it's horrible to look at him. Which he's a very off-kilter character in it, but it's like, in certain lightings, you can see the thickness of his makeup, and it's like, ugh, what's happening? And it's not like a character trait. It's not like you see him put makeup on. It's like just bad hair and makeup team.
Yeah, right. I'm just looking it up.
Yeah. Because he's a ginger guy. Yeah. He's a very, he suits the hair he has, and then...
yeah, he looks like a... Oh, it's almost... Tobey Maguire, Batman, Spider-Man 3, like
totally
emo kid, side fringe hair.
Yeah. That's totally the place they put him in, which is weird because the show's a very serious show, and then he looks like a caricature of the kind of character he is, and it's odd, but you get past it. But really, really good.
He's also Peter Rabbit. I thought so.
Yeah, Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. He's the dude, the farm man.
He's also the Black Mirror episode where... is that Black Mirror? Or is that a different show? Where Hayley Atwell is a robot.
Right.
Yeah. It's that episode as well. But yes, good show. Worth watching. The other one, which isn't a surprise, is Tales of the Jedi, which dropped on Wednesday. It's a 6 episode, I think. 6 or 7 episode series, all short. It's kind of all short films. They're all less than 20 minutes long. It's in the Clone Wars animation style, and it's very good. Half of it's about Ahsoka. Half of it's oh my god, is about Count Dooku before he became before he fell to the dark side. The Dooku stuff is phenomenal. Like, it is like some of my favorite Clone Wars stuff ever. The Ahsoka stuff is a bit shit. It's like really boring. Like, I love Ahsoka, but I'm like, we need to slow your roll. She's not the only character in this universe. Like, she's my second favorite character, but I don't need to see her this much.
They're trying to push her too much, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I did see some things because everyone's like, this is the first time we've seen a Yoda character talk. And she doesn't talk like Yoda. So all the posts I'm seeing online is just like, so Yoda's just a freak, right?
Yeah. Apparently there's a canon. I don't know if it's canon or if it's one of the other books. Apparently the idea, which is definitely not the idea, because it was just what was done in one movie. Yeah. And then they had to deal with the ramifications of that, which is Star Wars in general. The idea that they've put forth is that that's how the old Republic Jedis talked. And because he's from that time, and just no one talks like that anymore, similar to a lot of language, it evolves over time. And it's just that's just from when he was.
Sure.
Which I like, but it's like, fuck no. He's just weird.
Yeah.
He's just a weird little gremlin boy. And Yaddle, who I think she's on the Jedi Council in episode 1. So we have seen her in live action before. But Yaddle is voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard, which is quite fun.
I did see that.
Which as I was watching it, I'm like, I would kind of love if Yoda ever talks normally, he talks like Ron Howard. So then when Grogu grows up, he talks like Ron Howard's brother, and it's like they all just talk like a Howard. It's just how that species speak.
That'd be so good. That'd be great. Yeah. Was it Bryce that did? Oh, she did Mando stuff, right? Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's great. Into the Star Wars family now.
Yeah, which is keep it in the family. Very good.
Yeah. That's my TV and film, or just TV.
Nice. So I also watched one probably a little more expected than the other because the other one's freaking random. I saw Black Adam.
Yep,
it's very good. Sorry, it was good to go out and hang with friends. I'll say that part. It wasn't that great. It's exactly what you expect from a DC film. Yeah, I wasn't thinking hard enough. I needed to reel that one back in very quickly.
It was very good. No.
I didn't mind a slight twist towards the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, when you find out kind of why he got his powers.
Sam explained the plot to me, but that sounds fun.
It's a nice, like, I don't know if that's different to the comics or whatever, but it was kind of like a something. Exactly. You did something. Cool.
Yeah, well done.
There was a couple of things that stood out. I think there was one where I'm like, I got to remember that, and I should have written it down, but I was like almost laughing. It was not a funny moment, but I was laughing at just like, that is an insane choice.
Was it the kid?
The kid has a lot of problems. Insane choice. There was one thing about the kid. Well, just a moment of the kids. I think it was towards the end. There's like freaking destruction everywhere. This is Man of Steel in like Egypt, basically, like an Egyptian city, whatever. Just destruction everywhere. And there's just this point where you don't know where the kid is. Well, at least the mum doesn't know where the kid is. And then he comes around the corner on his skateboard, of course. There's got to be skateboarding.
Big skateboard.
Just skateboarding around the corner, surrounded in absolute destruction. Like buildings collapsed, cars are on fire, just rubble everywhere. But he's just got this perfectly smooth path with not a single stone on it, just to be able to skate around the corner, just come around as smoothly as possible. Like a single rock will stop a skateboard in its tracks. It's going to absolutely destroy that child. Also, just once again, like, just continuing on with DC's things, like bottom-up shots with zero geographical context of where anybody is. It's just from the ground straight up in this, like, you know, the very grey, moody, like overcast sky all the time. That's all they've got. And then with that, they always just look like they're green screened in, which they probably almost definitely are. But you can tell they don't ever look like they're actually there, ever.
Yeah, which I've got to gripe, because people like have been giving the Quantum Mania trailer shit because everyone looks comped in. And in that case, where the fuck are they going to film any of that? But in the case of this film, they're just in a town the entire movie.
Yeah.
So just film it there. Maybe it's not green screen. It's just the weird lenses that they're using. But yeah, it's like you can't be doing that. You need to.
It always just looks not right. I feel like it's a drag over from trying to keep like OG Zack Snyder, who we know likes those lenses too, because the Dawn of the Dead or whatever it's called, not Dawn of the Dead, whatever the zombie one was.
Yeah. I don't know.
Army of the Dead?
Army of the Dead, yeah.
With that, maybe something like that, yeah. Maybe it's just a drag over from that, and James Gunn will be maybe switching that over. Fingers crossed. Add some color into those, please.
I feel like he's going away from color. Have you seen? I ended up watching the holiday special trailer because I couldn't be bothered.
Right.
And I love Peacemaker, but one of the things I hate about Peacemaker is how like desaturated and like everything's very clean. And he looks like he's doing the same thing in the Guardians holiday special. And then it's also the same way he's shot in the Suicide Squad. So I feel like he's going in a direction that I can't follow.
Okay.
So I'm a bit concerned, but
yeah.
We'll see.
And also just final thing, post credits. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but like it's so vague. Again, geographically so vague. Where are they? What?
Yeah.
Having watched the whole film, it's not a place.
Apparently, it's his throne room. Apparently, that's the intention.
Then how did a man?
Yeah, I know.
How to get there? Why is it there?
Why is there a little drone? What's that about? Yeah, it's bizarre.
So vague.
Yeah.
Anyway,
very good though.
It was a very good movie. So good. Honestly, I found The Rock's acting pretty good. He was pretty. Like, he wasn't a funny character. There was like very little humor at all. And I didn't find him like cringily The Rock.
Yeah.
He was just, I thought he did okay.
It was pretty good. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. The other movie, I watched Mordecai. Or Mordecai. It's the Johnny Depp movie where he's basically playing the Pink Panther.
Oh,
like he's basically playing that one.
Yeah. How weird.
Yeah. This was the movie where, you know, I was at my girlfriend's house and at like 11:30 we finished playing a board game and they were like, cool, do you want to watch a movie?
What a choice.
It's almost midnight, guys. This is what we watched. Everyone fell asleep.
Cool.
I also actually fell asleep. I didn't think I would because I don't generally fall asleep while watching a movie, but certainly did this time.
Why?
And
why that?
Yeah. It's a weird... Have you seen it?
I have. I also just looked up the ratings. It's 11% on everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. I thought it was fun.
I remember not liking it a lot.
Okay. I thought it was fun. I had fun with it because it's funny and quirky. It's just nonstop jokes. Like, it's not anything to take seriously at all. I find it hilarious. I didn't realize it was him. I knew him from somewhere. Freaking Paul Bettany playing a sex-obsessed British brute, bodyguard for Johnny Depp's character. Yeah, insane. So weird, especially having seen him now. It also has Gwyneth Paltrow, Ewan McGregor, Olivia Munn, and Jeff freaking Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum as himself. I feel like that was the first film when he decided that was it. From memory, I feel like that's the film he stopped acting.
Yeah, because when he started,
skivvy, I'm good.
Pretty much, and the way he says things, he's like, "Oh, and I must also say," it's like, dude, come on,
man, try.
So good, so good.
Good.
So that's all I've watched this week.
Was that on something? Were you all on MDMA?
Probably. I don't think I watched a movie that night. I think I don't know how they have it, but they just had like a huge list of movies. Seriously, my girlfriend's housemate is me. It's wild, but he's a board game person instead of a video game person.
Video games.
But like, we were playing this Sherlock board game, and there was one point where we went to a character called Porky to go ask him a question. And when we decided that, and we're like, you know, the girls were looking up the conversation we were about to have with Porky.
Yeah.
He and I, at exactly the same time, in exactly the same tone, just went, Porky! It was bizarre.
Weird.
The girls just broke. Like, they were just like, you guys can't be friends. This isn't allowed. This is weird.
You should check his arm. I wonder if it has Mark II on it.
I wonder. Ooh, imagine. Yeah, it was bizarre. There was so many moments. Like he and I were just bouncing off each other, and we'd hung out once before. Like we basically met 2 days earlier, and that night was just insane. But then he was going through movies and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got like a bunch of the Marvel movies. So I'm like, what do you think of Iron Man 3? He's like, it's really fun. It's a really good movie. And I'm like, I know, right? Amazing. Alita Battle Angel was on there, and I was like, what do you think of that? He's like, I really enjoyed it. I want a sequel. I'm like, thank you.
Oh my God.
This is amazing.
We're the only ones.
Yeah. And then one that I don't think you've ever seen, but they also had Warcraft, the movie. And I'm like,
oh, no, I watched
Warcraft?
that.
Yeah, you did?
Watch that.
Yeah. And he was like, I enjoyed it.
It's totally fine.
I thought it's totally fine movie. It was great. Yeah. It was totally sweet. So we're on the same page. Like, good. I think he and I both just watch movies to watch movies. Yeah. Although he and everyone else in that household hates the Jack White theme song for James Bond.
I mean, that's the standard opinion.
Yeah, it's fair.
it's generally a general consensus that it is the worst James Bond thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it though. I probably just got.
Yeah,
it'd be better if it was just Jack White, maybe.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is it is the same chord progression as "You Know My Name."
Sure,
which is the weird. So it felt like a carbon copy. Like they couldn't think of a better theme. But on its own, it's a good song. It's more just in the grand scheme of Bondness, it was like, oh, okay,
fair,
fine.
Yeah.
But
I just have I haven't listened to it all that much. Just a couple of times, probably like once or twice on YouTube, and then once when we watched them all.
When we watched the film.
But yeah, I've just got my bias. Love me some Jack White
bias. Yeah. Your white bias.
Whoa, no. Don't tell people I've got that.
Gotham Knights we both played.
Yes.
And
we certainly did.
We did. You've continued. I have deleted.
Oh, barely. But yeah, I have. I replayed the Harley Quinn mission. Basically, I didn't catch much of the story. There's a lot of cutscene. We talked a lot through it and stuff. And then when even on stream, when I left your game, it comes up and it says like all the missions you just did in someone else's game, and it's like, do you want to redo this one?
Oh.
Because you didn't, like, it wasn't part of yours.
It wasn't your save,
They would just continue on from wherever. And I think, like, if I had gotten ahead of you, and then, if you had gotten ahead of me and then I did your missions, then when I got back to mine, once I got up to that mission, I think it would be like, you've already done this somewhere else. Do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
So it did that, which was...
That's cool.
It's a cool addition, excuse me. So I think the first one, the one just before that we did, where we basically just went and spoke to someone and that was it.
Yeah.
It was like, do you want to redo that? I'm like, that's fine. But the Harley Quinn one, I'm like, yeah, I'll get like a bit more story and stuff out of her and figure that out. I redid that, and that's basically all I had time for. So I just, played probably 20, 30 minutes. That was it.
Have you got a compulsion to go back?
Only, like, people are saying the story is pulling them through. That's basically what's gonna get me back into it, is just finishing a Batman story. That's pretty much it. I just need more time to play it. It's been a busy week. Just haven't had a chance. But once God of War comes out, who freaking knows?
Delete time.
Gonna need that space.
Like, just the general quick thoughts on it is that the combat, which is kind of the only thing the game has in terms of something to do, is not very good. It's very floaty. You press a button and then they think about punching someone and then they do. It's like,
it feels it's not snappy enough.
Not at all.
Definitely.
Like, if you don't want to point to Arkham, which it's trying to be, there's no doubt about that, then you could point to Avengers, and Avengers combat is the one thing that game does impeccably. So it's like, there's not that there. Basically, all the systems in the game feel a little bit broken. Like, the
UI looks terrible.
UI looks like next level.
The fonts are just real big and bubbly and like
off-brand.
It
doesn't suit the game.
It doesn't work. It doesn't.
No.
It's meant to be a computer. Like, you go into that computer. It doesn't look anything like you're in a computer whatsoever. They haven't. They haven't designed it to look like it. Like
they had a jumping off point of like make it look like a computer, and then they just didn't. Fuck, that's so funny.
No.
Yeah, same with UI. Like scanning in the environment, and you can see something you want to go to. The fact you can't just ping that from the like detective vision is like, what the hell? Like there's so many just brick walls to so much about the game.
And to get into like the big PlayStation middle button press, you have to press and hold it for a second or two. It's like, no, I just want to go into it. Just let me into the map.
I don't need an overlay picky one. I don't need that.
I barely even know what that does. Yeah, it sucks.
It's the mission structure that you can then go in and like hotbar. Like instead of going in and then track, it's like from there you can track those missions. But it's like, if that didn't exist, I would do the same thing. In the back computer if I could just press the button.
Just press it. Just bring that up first.
And then there's brick walls everywhere that you about everything about the game. It's so just not fun to play. No. And I wish Steph talked about it on the show. All of us I think all of us had played it as well, and Steph's experience was the only one that was like positive. Sure. She played it with Coastal as well, and I mean it's hard to not have fun and happiness with Coastal.
We had fun on the stream.
We did. Well, we had fun streaming.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't have fun with the game, but yeah, maybe it is that playing in a public setting helps with the game. But the main pull had people have been speaking about is the co-op, and for us, it just didn't get better. It got more awkward, and more of the systems broke.
Yeah, the fact that I jumped into Will's, like Will was hosting, so I was in his game, and I couldn't interact with anything. I couldn't trigger cutscenes and stuff like that. I had to go over to it, and I think it said suggest. My button press was suggest to host.
Insane.
To come press this thing. I couldn't interact with stuff in his world. Like I could fight things with him and stuff, but I couldn't trigger anything. I had to get the host to do it. It sucked.
And I hate the cutscenes only being the host's cutscenes, because I get it from maybe it wouldn't time out right, but just give me a black screen for like 5 seconds to catch up or whatever. But the whole point is you pick a character and experience that from their perspective. So if you're playing co-op, which is the hook, and you don't get to experience the story from your character you've chosen, what's the point?
And the cutscenes are customized to your character.
Yeah. So you're missing out on the potential story.
The conversations for the character you've chosen are different for every character.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the story, but at least the conversations are different, and they're usually pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, it's in engine, but it's not like it's in world. Like, there's no reason that it can't just play the other character. Anyway, very silly. I look, maybe it's a Christmas game. If you enjoy the story, maybe I'll boot it up at Christmas and blast through the story. But I mean, if you're like, the story is okay, I'll just watch the 3-hour cutscene compilation on YouTube.
Until I'm probably not even going to finish it by then.
No,
we have a bit over a month until my whole family is down for my birthday for a bunch of days. And then 5 days after that, I'm going to Sydney. For like 2 or 3 weeks. So probably not.
You got about
time.
4 weeks, 5 weeks of
to play that and God of War.
And God of War comes out in less than a week.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to finish either of those games before Christmas. They'll be early next year games to finish off.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Our Game of the Year podcast is going to suck. That was the Rec Seg. Imagine there's a cool title card here, and if you want to make one, you can send it to us in the Discord, in the catch-up channel. That's the easiest way to put it in there. If you want to get into the Discord, where can they go, Josh?
You can go to patreon.com/each to their own. Just a couple of bucks. Get you in there. Come ask us questions. Come recommend stuff for us. Just come keep up with everything and everyone.
If you're currently only listening to us and you want to see our faces, you can go to youtube.com/each to their own. And if you see us and you don't want to see us, you just want to hear us, you go to any audio-based thing, type in ETTO, you'll find the catch-up.
Type in ETTO on your iPod mini. You'll find it. Any audio-based thing, just walk up to a microphone, type in ETTO.
Yell it.
It'll probably work.
It'll find it. Any audio-based thing. Until the next podcast, I've been Will.
I've been Josh.
Good night, Australia. Let's not make that a thing.